Hey everybody, how y'all doing today? Just wanted to do a quick video tonight because I finally have some time to do it, so wanted to give it a go. All right, so I don't go anywhere whatsoever. Since this whole quarantine happened, I literally stay home. I mean, I bought a new car in at the end of September and it has 6,700 miles on it. So probably by the end of September it might have 7,000. So that's 7,000 miles on a brand new car this year. So that's how little I go anywhere. Um so the other day, my university sends us this email, and basically what it says is that we can cancel our parking passes because we're not going to be on campus. And that's just awesome. So basically, what's going to happen is we are able to cancel our parking passes. I am going to save. So, first of all, I pay $35 a month to park. So that's like about almost $400. That is $400. That's actually $420 a year to park at my university. I think that is absolutely, and I made this post, I was like, I don't know what's more crazy, the fact that I pay to park at my university or the fact that I'm able to cancel because of coronavirus. But I've worked in numerous other sectors in industries and never have I paid to park on my company's property, except in higher ed. It's actually the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of in the world that they make their own employees pay to park. It's like I'm paying to go to work. You might as well just cut my salary $500 a year because that's basically what's happening. It's one of the most ridiculous things ever. So I'm really glad I'm not paying because it's just the dumbest thing I've ever seen. In fact, like when I was a management consultant and I would have to travel or like park somewhere for work, I would actually make money from parking there. So it's just kind of funny. And like we don't have good parking on campus to begin with. Like in corporate, it was all like these nice big, you know, great garages, just beautiful stuff like that. No, our garages are few and far between, and you have to actually pay more money to park at the garage. It's just ridiculous. I just think it's like one of the dumber decisions being made in higher ed that employees have to pay to park. Um, just makes no sense. So anyway, I canceled my parking pass. Super happy about that. I I hope I never have to pay for it again, but I know I will have to once this whole virus thing is over. But anyway, it's just funny because it's just like a big sign. Like I feel like I need like a sign on my car like I don't drive you anymore. I don't drive this thing. I did go to Lowe's today, which is like huge for me. I needed to go for like 3 weeks. I build up like these huge lists. So every time I'm gonna go to the store, I like make a list and I'm like, oh well, I only need one thing. So it's probably not worth going to Walmart to get it because when I go to the store, I gotta wear a mask, which is a big pain. I do wear so when I go to the store, my routine is I actually wear one glove, and I use that gloved hand for everything in the store. And I don't wear two gloves because I only use one hand to like pick up a box of cereal or whatever. So like, I've got one glove on. I wear sunglasses, or like I have clear glasses, like worker glasses, and then I wear a hat. So I feel super uncomfortable going to the store. Plus, you're always exposing yourself to catching coronavirus. So going to the store is like the worst thing I want to do. It's like I totally don't want to do it. That's why I don't go anywhere. But I like have a list, and I have to wait till there's like 10 things on it for it to be worth it for me to go. Hold on a second. I gotta sneeze. Bless you. So anyway, yeah, so I like wait until there's like this huge list for me to go to the store. So I finally went to Lowe's today. I think I might have to go to Walmart tomorrow. Okay. So anyway, yes. So I just don't go anywhere, and it's kind of funny. And I'm actually saving a bunch of money by not going anywhere. Okay. So off my rant about like going places. One of the things I've been thinking about with these live sessions and my interviews that I've been doing. So this week I interviewed Lucas Gillespie. He is kind of started World of Warcraft in school, which is this really cool like gamified classroom. So I interviewed him just to find out about like some of the stuff he's been up to and stuff like that. And one of the things I wondered, so it's like I have like these two different things going on right now. I actually have three things. I've got like learning live sessions, which I think are separated definitely. But I've got the interviews and I've got these live sessions. And I keep like numbering each of them separately. So like I'm on interview 13, but like this is episode 16 of this. And like should they just be like one and the same? And sometimes there's someone I'm interviewing and sometimes it's just me. I can't really decide that. Um, if you want to comment on the video and let me know what you think I should do, I just can't decide like if it should just be one and the same, and sometimes there's a guest and sometimes there's not. But so coming up this week, I'm going to be interviewing the dean of my college. I'm going to be trying to find out. I'm going to be interviewing about what a dean means and asking some good questions. I've talked about this in a few other live sessions, but I just want to know like what does it mean to be a dean? What does he think about like bloated administration running university? Is that true? Because we say it, but that doesn't mean it's the case. I just want to hear his feedback and like, how do you become a dean? Why would you want the job? Because it doesn't look fun. It looks like it pays pretty well, but like it looks like a not fun job. So I want to find out like what his day to day is like. And then I have an idea for another interview for maybe like in like 2 weeks or something like that. I want to do like a four-way Zoom or five-way Zoom where I pull with a couple of the students who helped start the esports club at my university. You can see I'm actually wearing the shirt today. And I want to pull them and I want to talk about just kind of the lessons learned over the last year. Like, what did we get out of this? Like, what did we learn? What are we going to do differently? I'm just fixing my camera here. What are we going to do differently this year? Like, what did we really learn? And like, what advice do we have for other people who are considering starting up esports clubs at their university? So I think that would be something that would be interesting, and interesting for me to hear their perspective, and I think it'd be really interesting for other people and to hear from someone else. Like you hear from me about it and other faculty, but like let's hear from the students and the people that were there like on the ground running, like doing it. So like I think that would be a very good topic for an interview. So that might be, I got to talk to my students and see if they're willing to do that, and we might put that together. Reminding me of esports, so we have tons of cool stuff coming up this year, which is kind of really exciting. So first of all, we got some tournaments coming up. We're doing a tournament right now with Azalea Fest where students can. So basically, what it is, and whoever's watching this can totally compete in it as well. Their kids can. It's for any age from someone anywhere. And basically, it's till August 31st. If you go to my esports website, UNCW, you can see the flyer in the news section. And basically what it is you create a float, like a parade float in Minecraft, and you submit it. Simple. So simple to do. My 9-year-old has already submitted his. It's not due till the 31st of August, so there's plenty of time to do it. So we got that. We have another tournament coming up on 9/4, which is a Mario Kart tournament. We're partnering with my university student life group, and it should be pretty cool. Like I've never done a Mario Kart tournament before, seen one. I mean, actually, I shouldn't say that. When I was in college, me and my buddies would play Mario Kart and have in-house tournaments all the time. It's kind of funny story. So one of my friends so he went to college where my hometown was. So over Christmas break one year, we all could hang out at his apartment because we were all home for Christmas break, which is like 4 weeks in college. But we had his apartment because his college was literally in my hometown. So he had this is the funny part. So I guess he had a party like a couple weeks or something right before the semester ended, and he had this keg of beer. And he was like, "Oh, this keg is empty." He's like, "Yeah, we think it feels empty, like it was really light." But for some odd reason, he said, "But our goal is," he's like, "It's like, when you're driving a car and you have like an empty tank of gas and you're like, how far can I really drive before this runs out?" We did the same thing with that keg of beer. And basically we played Mario Kart every night and would have in-house competitions while we were trying to finish the keg of beer, which lasted for like 2 weeks. which is unbelievable, between like 5 guys or something like that. Like it was a lot. It felt like, because I remember feeling it, and like it just never would run out. But it had to be like half a keg there. So anyway, just a funny story. Just reminds me of Mario Kart tournaments. That scene of playing at my buddy's apartment for like days on end while we're finishing this keg of beer. Super fun game though. And that was Mario Kart for the N64. So now we're obviously like 2 gens above that. So 3 gens above that actually. All right. So other esports stuff going on. So we had we're having like some events where we're doing like some in-house stuff, and last night we had Jackbox night, which basically is, think of like just playing on an online game with a group of people. So like I only participated in one of the games. We did trivia, and I got last place, but they were mostly like horror themed questions, and I know absolutely nothing about horror movies or anything like that. So, yeah, I got last place, but it was pretty cool. And we had like, when I was on, there was at least 10 other students on who were like participating all virtually, which I think is like really cool for us to do stuff like that. We're going to attempt to do it Friday and Saturday nights. I guess tonight is movie night, which I can't attend, but I'm curious to see how many students actually start coming to this stuff, because it was really cool last night. I thought it was a good, fun thing to do. It was just interesting to see the students being there, and I just kind of popped in to say hello, but I decided to play around with them, and we did like, it was like this cool trivia thing, but it was on like jackbox.tv, and you go there on the website or on your phone, and you can all play with one another. Pretty cool. So that's like esports stuff that I've been working on and doing. Oh, and I've totally been prepping for my esports class and my other class. So that's been like taking up all my time lately. But I want to move on from like class stuff and esports stuff. 'Cause I've been talking about it for so long already. All right. So other stuff that has been happening. So basically, beginning of the semester starts on Wednesday, and it is like coming like really quick. I'm like halfway prepped for my classes. I'll be ready by Wednesday, definitely. Not the whole class, but most of the course will be prepped for both of the courses that I'm teaching. So I will be doing learning live sessions this semester on both of those classes. The first one's esports, second one's instructional design. So I will be doing like learning live sessions on both of those, just whatever topic we're covering in class that week. I'll like do my learning live session. And maybe what I'll do is I'll do like one learning live session a week and like 1 week instructional design, next week esports kind of thing. I don't know. We'll see. I kind of like play around with it. I really like the live sessions. I think that they're fun. I think the students like them. And I don't know, they're just interesting, and I get to learn stuff. I get to see the students fielding me questions, which is always interesting. All right, let's see. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, I know what I want to talk about. So let's talk about K to 12 school right now. Because right now my kids are in K to 12 school. I've mentioned this. I know I've talked about it before, but just to recap, give you a little recap. So I've got a kindergartner. What kindergartner start school virtually? So I've got a kindergartner, a second grader, and a fourth grader. I got 3 boys. And so my kindergartner, he literally gets on the camera and like goes like, beats on his chest, shakes his booty for the camera, for the teacher, or goes like this, covers his face up. And like all the kids are doing this stuff too. Like it's not just like him. So yeah, kindergarten's going really, really well. He's now fully playing his tablet like a lot throughout the day because he can. Because we don't have anything else for him to do. We can only do so much. We got 3 kids and I'm working full time. So we can only do so much with them. So he's starting to learn he's playing a lot of the Roblox games that are totally inappropriate for him, but he's got 2 big brothers. Like our first kid never would have been able to do what he's getting away with right now. I mean, he dressed up yesterday. He had his mask on, my like a beach hat of mine, and no shirt, camo shorts. And I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm dressing up like Fortnite." I was like, "All right, you win, buddy. Dress up like Fortnite." But So what I keep seeing anyway, so yeah, the other kids, we kind of start like more full time. The first 2 weeks were just more like the first week and a half was like introductory for them. So now this week we start like more live stuff. So we're gonna see how it goes. So next week when I do a video, I'll totally talk about what the week is like. And I need to show you my room. So we set up like one of the kids' bedrooms as like a learning center for all three of them. So I should totally show you all what that's like. So you keep seeing like my office, like my stuff. Um, and okay, so there's that. Then one of the funny things that I keep, it's not funny actually, but it is. So every school across the nation, K to 12 school, is grappling with the fact that they probably have to go online, but they're really, really fighting it. And what this is doing is it's making it so that the teachers totally don't know what's going on. Teachers aren't making the decision. Um, So, like my school. So, our school is going the first 9 weeks online. I've heard other schools going like 5 weeks or whatever, or we're going to try the first 2 weeks. I, what I wonder is at what point are they just going to admit, you know what? We're going to be online until there is a vaccine for coronavirus because we're just going to keep going online. Because what's happening, as we're seeing from the schools that are open, what happens? A couple people get coronavirus, school shuts down because everyone's in quarantine, and they end up going online. It's like, what are you even wasting your time for then? Makes no sense whatsoever. So, yeah, trying to figure that out. It's like these schools, I get they want to appease the public and they're not sure what to do and they're hoping something changes, but like it's totally not. So my suggestion is just go online. So anyway, that's my whole school rant. Other things going on with me. So I don't know if I mentioned this before, but we're selling my father-in-law's home, and we think the closing is going to be in like a week from now, which would be awesome because we need to sell it. So we got to pay the bank the money for the house, and we should get something from it, which is nice, but it's not like a lot whatsoever. We're gonna just cover most of my father-in-law's estate and get a little bit, but not like anything great, but something. So that's going through. So I'm happy because that's got to get done. It's like, this thing in the back of my mind that I've been stressed about is like getting rid of this house because we've got to get rid of it. So I've also, and I think I've talked about this before, maybe not. I've refinanced my house, my current house, this house that I'm in, so that when I move, because we are going to move in like the next year or two, maybe even much sooner than that, maybe in like the next 2 months or 3 months. We are going to rent this house out. Now, I already do have one rental property. So I already have one. I've got one rental property and I am going for number two. Now, some people really hate rent landlords, and I do it. I actually I've been one for 7 years. But like, I don't know why. I don't get that whole thing, I guess, because it makes no sense. But anyway, um, renting and owning additional property is really interesting. It's first of all, it's a really big risk. Like you need to find someone to rent the place. When they don't pay, you have to be on top of it because you have to pay the mortgage company. So like I have to pay the mortgage company. They will sue me and take the house. So like the person living there has to pay me. You don't make a lot of money from renting a house, at least not right away. So like renting a property is not like a get rich quick scheme whatsoever. In fact, it's a long drawn out scheme that takes a lot of work. And I shouldn't even say scheme, it's a long drawn out business that takes a lot of work. So um, I am at year 7 renting my house, and I'm still not making money from rent. What does that mean? Well, I have positive cash flow each month. That means that I make more than my mortgages. But you have to remember, so I can talk about like, let's say the average amount that you make when you rent a house out is somewhere between like, hopefully you have positive cash flow. So hopefully like a minimum would be like $200 that you get back. or else it's not worth renting out. You're going to lose money. Because let's say I do make $200 a month. So what is that? 200 times 12 is $2,400 a year. So let's say I profit $2,400 a year. Nope, that's not true. In order for me to profit $2,400 a year off a rental house, I probably need to make like $6,000 from the rental house, because you have to remember, when I rent a house out and try to profit from it, it doesn't work like that. Your cash flow goes back into the property. So for example, I've rented this house out for 7 years. My air conditioners already went out once. So what happened when that happened? I had a bill for $6,500. So that was almost 3 years of rent in one air conditioner. What happened when the roof went for a hurricane and I had to pay the deductible for the mortgage, for the wind insurance? What happens when the water, I've had water heater, I've had every problem: refrigerator, air conditioner, water, heater, doors, window breaking, house needs to be power washed, painted, painting inside between renters, all that stuff. You add all that up, you're not making any money. And the tenant's not responsible for that kind of stuff. You are, as the owner. So where I do make money, and which is unseen at this point, is when I pay that mortgage each month that my tenant pays, they're paying towards my principal of my home. Additionally, the house has appreciated 25%, which is awesome. So when I do sell it, I now have more. I now have more equity in the house right now because of that. So those are two bonuses. Now, the other way that I will profit, and that you profit from a home, is after a while you hope that rent increases in your area while your mortgage stays the same. So the next time that I end up renting my house out, because right now my tenants, I'm not making too much because they've been there a long time. So I don't increase their rent because I'm a nice person and I would rather have nice, happy tenants than, trying to increase rent on someone and stuff like that. But when they move out, I'm going to increase my cash flow more than double what I'm getting right now. So, you slowly can make money off a rental house, but it's a big risk and it's a lot of work, and you got to know what you're doing. But I'm going for number 2 because I like it and I don't mind I enjoy it. So, it's one of those things where, like, where should you invest your money? And, you got to pick and choose what you want to do. I mean, you won't make as much. The stock market is less risky, and you don't make as much as a rental house, but you almost do. So, like, it's like, and you can buy and sell what you want. So, when people are like, "Oh yeah, renting's really great," it can be, but it's not for everyone, and it's a job. When my tenants have a problem, I have to deal with it, and it's additional stress on me. So I've been getting this house ready for tenants at some point. So anyway, yeah, that's that. As far as, like, and reminding me of the stock market's been going crazy lately. So, I got I can talk about some of the stocks that I've owned. I know I've talked about this before, but I've got Apple. I've got a bunch of shares of Apple now. And so Apple is doing a 4-for-1 split this month. So what that means basically is, for every 1 share of Apple you have, you're going to have 4 shares. So I've got a bunch of shares of Apple already, so I'm going to have a lot. I'm going to have 4 times the amount once it splits. Now, you don't actually make money from a split. The split, it's even, so you're not like you're getting more. If the stock is $100, I'll have 4 shares and each will be $25. So there's no, like, you don't, like, get additional money or anything like that from a split. But it's a good sign that the company's growing, the stock's getting higher, and it's good. A reverse split is bad. That's where they take shares away from you and combine them into one. A normal split is good. So it's a good thing. I've got some shares of Amazon. I'm all in big tech. And big tech, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Microsoft, Google. Those are, Walmart, Verizon, mostly big. Well, Walmart's not really big tech, but they kind of are. I guess, their online presence competes with Amazon's online presence. But I'm in a lot of the big tech. And the reason I'm in big tech, I've got friends investing all over the place in all kinds of different sectors. The reason I don't do that is because I don't understand these other sectors. It's not that I don't understand them, it's that I really understand technology. It's what I do, it's what I love. I've been in tech since I was a little kid, learning how to program a computer at like age 6 in like 1986, learning how to program a computer. I've loved technology, and I can foresee what's going to happen in technology. I've got a good eye for predicting what companies are going to do, what the future is going to do, what I think companies, what services they're coming out with, like with Microsoft, their cloud. How a lot of people don't even know they have a cloud, or a lot of like the Wall Street doesn't necessarily get what they really do with it and stuff. So having the background to understand what these things do and why they're important and why I believe they're going to be good has helped me in my investments. So I'm in tech. Tech, fortunately for me, was not one industry impacted by coronavirus. So all the tech stocks are really doing well because of that. People were like, I mean, just I'll give you an example of people not understanding tech or understanding stuff about it. So when Facebook, maybe like a year and a half ago, something like that, a lot of people were like, oh yeah, Facebook is bad because there's some security issues or something like that. And they were like, the stock's going to go down. And a bunch of people sold some of the stock, and it did go down because of that. And I thought, why would you sell because of that? You do realize that, yes, you as a stockbroker believe the company's going to perform worse because the security flaw. But me as a tech person knows that I know the end user, and guess what? The end user doesn't care about this kind of stuff. The majority of the end users don't care about this stuff. So I knew that Facebook's business model, by the news that was coming out, was not going to be impacted whatsoever. So I knew when they produced their quarterly results for the next few quarters that there was going to be zero impact based on whatever this BS news was coming out about them. So I didn't sell my stock. And lo and behold, I mean, you can know what happens. The stock just keeps going up because nobody cared about that. Next thing, let's talk about. So people, oh man, this is a good one too. So Netflix was like, I don't know why I'm telling you all these stock stories, but stock stories. This will be my last one, and that's going to be it for today. So let's talk about Netflix. So about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, people were like, so Netflix stock was like $300, and everyone was like, and by the way, I bought Netflix in like 2015 or 16 or something for like $60 a share. So it's up to like $300 now. So people were like, Netflix is going to go down because Hulu's getting popular. ABC, NBC, all these companies are trying to get into the space. And also because of Disney Plus. They said Disney Plus is going to take it down. That's going to be it. And I'm thinking in my head, in order for Disney Plus to so yes, Disney Plus, which I have, has a bunch of cool movies and stuff on it. But what Disney Plus doesn't have, which Netflix does have, is new content being continuously pushed out. Like Netflix has got Stranger Things and this and that just all the time. I'm watching Umbrella Academy right now. Good show, by the way. Well, we'll see how season 2 goes. I've only watched one episode, but so far so good. And it took Netflix a really long time to hit the magic formula for content that people would like. And a lot of that content isn't stuff that Disney's going to ever put out because it's too adult themed. And I just thought to myself, I don't see Disney taking anything from Netflix. And so their stock actually did go down to like 200 some dollars. It was down like $100. And people were like, you got to sell. Like, take your profit. I said, no, I don't. I'm thinking about tech. I'm thinking about consumers. And when I invest in something, I see like the value in it long term. I'm like, and you know what? In the next 5 years, from what I see, there are no competitors for Netflix at this point that are going to take away their sales at this point, at least. Um, and guess what Netflix is today? It's like 500 some dollars. Super glad I didn't sell it then. So yeah, that's that story. But anyway, on my tangent of investing, I just find it interesting. I love playing with stuff like that. I think a lot of people should invest and pay attention to their investments. One of the things I've always said, if you're listening to this and you're like, I don't know anything about investing, I'd like to invest, or I don't know what to do with my 401k, all that kind of stuff. If you're unsure, don't waste your time picking stocks and stuff. Put your money in an S&P 500 index fund. That's all you need to know. Just put your money in an S&P 500 index fund. Every company, TIAA-CREF, Fidelity, Vanguard, whatever, they've all got a S&P 500 index fund. Invest in that. Put your money there. Set it. Forget it. That's what you do. So if you're not sure, S&P 500 index fund. If you know what you're doing, there's all kinds of different trades you can do. Some people are all into, especially like Reddit Wall Street Bets, where if you want to see like the craziest people in the world, go read that forum. Wall Street Bets, Reddit, yeah, the crazies. Lots of crazy. I mean, literally, they call themselves crazy. I'm not like making this. I'm not saying they're crazy. They call themselves crazy, and they literally are, because they'll like bet like 100 grand on a bet. I mean, it's insane to watch. But yeah, they're all into like derivatives by trading calls, puts, and they trade options. Just it's not my thing. I'm a value investor. I'm very like old school value. I see value in a company over years, and that's when I invest in. I don't day trade. Nope. I've done it before. I did it with oil. I did really well with that, but I did before that. I tried it with penny stocks and lost some money. So it's not my thing. It's too stressful, too much. I'm a value investor. So anyway, that's it for today. That's all I wanted to talk about. I've just been super busy prepping everything. It's just been crazy. So I've got some interviews coming up. I've got one this week. I've got my idea for my other one for maybe in 2 weeks. Still contemplating combining this and my interviews all into one show. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about that, because I'm not sure what I should do. And anyway, later, guys. Have a good rest of your weekend. It's Saturday night, so hopefully you're doing something fun. Later, all.